opening day, it's tomorrow. But today, it's the first episode of a brand new podcast. It's called Crowned in Blue.
First pitch drilled, deep left center field. Fletcher looks up, it's out of here. High drive, deep left. Grand slam!
He tried to sneak a piece of cheese by a hungry rat.
What's up, everyone? It is Ty Walker, and we welcome you to the brand new podcast called Crowned in Blue. As you know, it's a baseball podcast. So, what's better than the idea of having it here at a baseball field? So, that's what we're doing here for today for the first episode. Obviously, the Royals just had their roster come out. I got it before because I have media passes for the team. So I kind of knew some stuff before everybody else did. So that's why I have it right now. As this episode is obviously pre-recorded, I'm not currently doing this live on the day before. But you guys will be seeing this the day before opening day. But I think first things first, I think we should go ahead and go over the opening day roster for everybody so they kind of know what to look for here this season for the Royals. So let's go ahead and start out with the pitching side. So starting off, Kris Bubic, Noah Cameron, Lucas Erceg, Carlos Estevez, Bailey Falter. I think a lot of people were shocked about that. Bailey Falter made the roster. First off, we traded for him last year. A lot of years of control. Also, he has no options. So if Bailey Falter didn't make this team, it would have been a waste of a trade last year because he has no options left, and he would have been DFA'd. To continue on, Alex Lang obviously picked him up in the offseason. Seth Lugo, Daniel Lynch IV, and Nick Mears picked him up in the Angel Zerpa, Isaac Collins trade. Cole Ragans, Matt Strom, obviously got him from the Jonathan Bolin trade from Philadelphia. John Schreiber, Michael Wacha. And then let's move on to our position players, outfield catchers, infielders. Catching side, Salvador Perez, Carter Jensen, his first season here in the MLB. We're going to see how he can do this season, Carter Jensen. It's going to be interesting to see what Carter Jensen can do in a full season under his belt. Obviously, we saw what he did in a short stint last year, and it was impressive. Then we have Salvador Perez, obviously the captain. Michael Garcia, obviously MVP World Baseball Classic. Got to get used to that new saying of his name. Obviously, we'll say during the World Baseball Classic that we've been saying it wrong all these years. It's Michael Garcia, not Michael. Jonathan India, hopefully can have a rebound season. Nick Lofton, obviously one of the big surprising factors here. Michael Massey is not on the opening day roster. He went to the injured list, a left quad strain, so it's going to be Nick Lofton on the active roster to start the season opening day. Obviously, Vinny Pasquantino, Tyler Tolbert. Tyler Tolbert wins the battle for that final bench spot. Obviously, Matt Quatrero always likes a guy with speed on his bench, and that's what Tyler Tolbert is. That's why Dairon Blanco was DFA'd. It was obvious Tyler Tolbert was going to be the winner of that battle. Bobby Witt Jr., Jack Caglione, first full season here in the league. Going to be interesting to see how he can do. He struggled a little bit last year at the big league level. He tore it up in the minors. Struggled a little bit in the big league level last year. Let's see what a full season of Jack Caglione can be. Obviously, I can tell you, he was unlucky a lot last year. But let's see how this year's going to be for Caglione. Isaac Collins, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, we got Nick Mears. Isaac Collins was the other half of that trade to help improve the outfield. He was the runner-up in the NL Rookie of the Year last year. So it's going to be interesting to see how Isaac Collins can fare out in this team. Kyle Isbell, and then these last two are a couple of new players as well. Starling Marte. We picked him up in the middle of the spring, and good bat against left-handing pitching. Should be an interesting pickup. Has a 280 career average, 112 WRC plus last year. And then obviously the other person on the roster is Lane Thomas. Was injured a lot last year, but he does crush lefty pitching. So it's going to be interesting to see how Lane Thomas can do for this team and see what he can do. We'll most likely see those two guys opening day starting. Obviously going against the lefty and Chris Sale tomorrow night in Atlanta. It's going to be interesting to see. As let's go ahead and look at what this game's going to bring. Obviously, first series of the season in Atlanta for the opening series of the season. Chris Sale on the mound for the Braves, a tough left-handed pitcher, former Cy Young, going against Cole Ragans, the Royals' opening day starter for the last 3 seasons now. It's going to be interesting to see this matchup. Obviously, like I was saying, we're probably going to see Starling Marte in this lineup. We're probably going to see Lane Thomas in this lineup. We're going to have to see how they fare out against Chris Sale. Obviously, historic Lane Thomas and Starling Marte have been good against left-handed pitching. The big question mark is Jack Caglione. Is he going to be in this lineup or not tomorrow? A lot of people have been saying, well, they want to see Jack Caglione against lefties. Other half people saying, honestly, we kind of want to see Lane Thomas in the outfield or Starling Marte in that outfield spot. So who knows what we're going to see out of that. We'll see that going into tomorrow when the starting lineups come out. But I think we mostly know most of everything in the starting lineup. Just those are the few question marks going into tomorrow's lineup is Starling Marte, Lane Thomas. Will we see Carter Jensen in the lineup, or will he possibly come off as a bench spot tomorrow? And will we see Jack Caglione in the lineup tomorrow? Now let's go ahead and get to some injury news, as I think the big headline is Michael Massey. Michael Massey obviously not going to be on the opening day roster, a quad strain, as well as Stephen Kolek. Now, Stephen Kolek was expected to happen, as he was expected to most likely start in the minor leagues. We'll see how Stephen Kolek can fare out when he gets back. Can he make his way up? Because the big question mark, I think, in this rotation possibly is Seth Lugo. Can he come back to himself in 2024 and early 2025? I think is the big question. And if he doesn't, do we possibly see something where Stephen Kolek or Ryan Berger come up? We're going to have to see there. But right now, it's Seth Lugo. And right now, it's Stephen Kolek on the IL with that left oblique sprain that he had in one of his, I believe it was a second start in the spring. So he did not get much of a spring at all. It was a second, actually, I don't think it was a start. I think he came out of the bullpen and he sprayed that oblique in the bullpen. He didn't even come in the game. Because I remember right now, he didn't even come in the game. He had a problem in the bullpen. He felt uncomfortable, and they didn't bring him out. And we haven't seen Stephen Kolek since. So it'll be interesting to see there with Stephen Kolek when he comes back. But I think everyone's looking forward to opening day. It should be fun in Atlanta. Opening series. Royals pitching, we're going to see Cole Ragans, Michael Wacha, and then Seth Lugo ending out the series. And then Chris Bubich will have the home opener against Minnesota, along with Noah Cameron Game 2, and then Cole Ragans, presumably most likely Game 3, unless some changes are made. Who knows? Not a lock yet, but it's most likely going to be Cole Ragans Game 3 in Kansas City for the opening series. So I can't wait to see you guys in Atlanta. You'll probably also see me in Kansas City for Game 1. So that should be fun as well. But that's going to do it for our first episode here in Crown and Blue. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you guys are heading out to Atlanta, I can't wait to see you guys there. If not, then maybe we'll get to see you out in Kansas City. But hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and peace.